Hi, I'm Jared. This whole week we've been talking about time, how to make the most of our days, and how to make the most of what goes into our head, but also get the most out of living our life for our God. So I don't know how big your town is. Mine's not especially big. It's about 50,000 people. And that's on the upper end of an estimate of how big a town called Ephesus was. They say at about 30,000 to 50,000 people. And this town is important because it's actually named in the Bible. There's a book called Ephesians. And a follower of Jesus writes a letter to the people who live there. And he says this, his name is Paul. He says, be very careful how you live, not as unwise, but as wise. We talked about that. But then the next section says, make the most of every opportunity. What's really interesting is the terms he uses. Opportunity here literally is time. And there's a couple words that we use for time in the Bible, in the Greek language. One is chronos, which may sound familiar if you watch Incredibles, that Syndrome's secret plan to destroy the world. But it is also like an actual time. It's like 3 p.m. So Paul isn't saying to the people like in this Batman trainer voice, like make the most of 3 p.m. He's saying kairos, which is a little bit different. It's not an actual time. He's saying make the most of really the moment. They say opportunity, but make the most of those moments. So what this means is we not only have limited days on this planet, but within each day we have limited moments. If your life is anything like mine, it seems like there's always time for work as we're more and more and more. And the people who are left out are these relationships. I read the average working person spends less than 2.5 minutes per day in meaningful conversation with their spouse or significant other. 2.5 minutes a day, so that's 15 minutes a week. But it's worse for kids. The average working person spends less than 30 seconds a day in meaningful conversation with their kids. So what this means is if you have houseplants, and you water these plants, 5 minutes a week, you're spending as much time with your houseplants as with your kids. What's our encouragement? We have limited time on this planet, limited days, but we also have limited moments in each day. So make the most of those moments. And what I mean by that is don't just say, hey, I have 30 seconds with my kids, let's get quality time. I'm saying let's blow these stats out of the water. Let's recommit ourselves to the things that really matter, because work is a big deal, of course. School is a big deal. But relationships are even bigger. So let's take time to express how God feels about them to them. And let's take time to express how we feel about them in real meaningful conversation beyond 2.5 minutes or beyond 30 seconds.